I am Dr. Carolyn Byerly, and I am on the Journalism and Mass Comm and Media Studies faculty at Howard University. I've been here 6 years, and my specialty in research is women in media. For the last few years, I've been especially interested in women and media policy. Came into media studies back in the mid-'80s after working as a journalist in the women's movement. And one of the things that we were very concerned about at that point in time was pornography. We were also concerned that we get more information about violence against women and other kinds of issues that were being taken up by the women's movement at that time. We have tracked this problem for a very long period of time, and it's gotten better in some ways, and other ways it's perhaps gotten worse as far as the overemphasis or the tabloidization of violence against women, for instance. But what we have not yet turned our attention so much to is why these problematic images and messages continue to happen in the news media. I think what the new frontier for the women's movement is really at the structural and policy issues, in other words, the media company level of the industries. And I say that because I became aware a few years ago that the telecommunications industry globally is second only to the pharmaceutical companies in the amount of revenue that they bring in each year. And the second companion piece of that fact is that telecommunications industries literally form the backbone, in other words, the spine of global capitalism. And so for that reason, the globalization of telecommunication industries is really something that I think really important intellectuals like Saskia Sassen have said it is the job of those of us who do research or raise the questions in the larger women's movement to really begin to ask where women are located in the global industries like telecommunications. In other words, the amount of revenues and the control of those revenues coming into those companies, those very, very large corporations, what has been called the Uber corporations or the mega corporations, those do not come into women's hands. Those revenues come into the hands of very wealthy male owners. Women, as long as we continue to focus on the content of the media and campaign around those issues, we are going to miss the big picture. And the big picture is so much more important as far as making a difference, that we have to mobilize ourselves, we have to educate women, and we have to find strategies to really begin to reshape public policy that allows those huge corporations to exist, that exclude women from their ownership ranks and their control of decision-making ranks. And we have to begin to find ways of tracking change. Once we begin to own groups of media that as they come on the market, be they in the United States or be they cross-cultural, I think that we will begin to exercise the kind of creative control that we want. We have to understand what kind of policies allow them to exist, and we have to be strategic in developing ways of creating gender-conscious companies of our own, race-conscious companies, companies that have progressive content as far as their goals are concerned, because otherwise we aren't going to have the critical public dialogues that we need about health, about sports, about politics, about families, about anything really.